You can see it. And it should come out pretty soon. Here we go. And today we're going to talk about Twitter for English language teaching. So can everybody see that? The Twitter for English language teachers? If you can, could you please type yes, because that way I can see that you can see. And hopefully you can hear me. You can find everything at bit.ly/ELT link. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the different ways you can use Twitter. Just for some of you who are already on Twitter, this is what the new Twitter looks like. And I would suggest getting on the new Twitter right now, and the reason why is because it's going to switch eventually. So this is what the home view looks like. In the very, very first arrow, you can see that's where you would type in, that's where you would actually type in words and letters and things like that. And you can see it's under what's happening, and that's where you would do your status update. So if you're on Twitter, this is what you would see right now. There are trends, there are people to follow. You can quickly see how many tweets you do, what was the last tweet you did. At the very top arrow, you can see where it's pointing to my name with the little icon. At the very top bar is where you'll see for settings and things like that. So profile basics. Well, if you're on Twitter, there's definitely some things that you should have, and one of them is a picture. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a picture of you, but it's nice if it's a person. You tend to get more followers if it's a person. But when somebody's looking at your profile, this is what they're going to see when they click on your profile. You want to make a short bio with highlights. So here I have passionate driven, 30 Goals Challenge author, international speaker, Elt Chat, ArtistCon 11. And I think that if you do tweet regularly with a hashtag, then include the hashtag so people know what your key points are. Especially advanced people on Twitter will be able to see this. You can, and then also I would recommend making it public. If you're going to be on Twitter, it's much easier for people to follow you if you're public. If you're private, a lot of times when people are doing following, it'll say pending, and then you have to allow them to come on. So a lot of people will cancel following you if you're private. If you're doing this for professional development reasons, I think it's much better anyway if you're public. And just, I try not to do anything that I would be embarrassed about. So these are kind of things that I would recommend. Now, lately, I have seen a lot of Twitter spam. So if you have anything that says that you don't know from someone, and it's something like if it says something like, oh, I see you in this picture, or is this you in this photo, or in this blog post, or in this video, if it says anything like that, do not click it. But if you have already clicked it, then one of the things I recommend is going to connections. And when you go to connections on your, this is under settings, you go to connections, you can see the different applications you're connected to. And then what you need to do is you need to revoke access to anything you do not know. So for example, I know these are the applications that I accepted, and I'm okay with that. But if there's anything that seems that I don't know, then I would go ahead and I would click revoke access, and then it would take it away. So that's one way. Now here are some great ELT hashtags that you should follow. A hashtag is basically anything with a number sign. So you can make a hashtag very easily. You can get any type of word, and you can put a number sign in front of it, and it makes it a clickable link in your tweet. So this is a great way to have conversations. And we do have a special English language teaching chat. And one of the English language teaching chats is Elt Chat. And so every Wednesday you can go and you can, yeah, I'm sorry, sometimes it's the internet connections. But you can go to ELT Chat, and on ELT Chat, you would be able to find every Wednesday, I believe it's at 10 p.m. CET, which is around Paris, Germany, 9 p.m. London time. You would find the chat. And then I believe it's also from the other one would also be at, I believe it's 12 o'clock London time. So ELT Chat is a really great place. There's another one actually called English Language Chat, and that one's on Mondays, and I believe it's at 9 p.m. And it's usually more U.S. based because 9 p.m. on a Monday, and I believe that's Central Standard Time. Then a lot of people in other countries wouldn't be able to attend that. But you can check out both hashtags. They have lots of great materials. Another great place is ELT Pics. ELT Pics has pictures, and they're Creative Commons pictures that you can actually see inside your that you can use for lessons and things like that. They have a lot of great themes, and so it's really, really great. The other one, so can anybody guess what the most used hashtag for English language teaching is? The one that is the most followed. Can anyone guess that? Okay, so I'm going to see if the other pod is open now, because maybe if it's open, then our sound will get a little bit better. Sorry about that. But can anyone guess? Actually, let me just take this one. Okay, so can anyone guess the hashtag? Well, that one's close. EduChat is definitely a close one, but it's one of the hashtags here that's in this picture. The most followed hashtag is ESL. Now that's, yes, very good, Elizabeth. Yes, that's really good. And that's important to know because if you want to get an important, like let's say you have a survey, or let's say that you want you have a really good blog post and you want this blog post to get a wide audience, then you would put it under ESL. You would tag it ESL. You can use hashtags for tagging, and then a lot more people would see it. ELT Chat, this is one, and ELL Chat are some of the, and Language Chat are some of the most active participants. So what that means is that a lot of the people will follow that, and that they will tend to retweet things. So even though it's not followed as much as ESL, the people are more active and more willing and friendly to retweet a blog post. So that's a really good place to have free materials or a really good blog post or a survey or ask a question or ask for help. Can anyone guess what BSIC would stand for? Anyone know what the hashtag BSIC is? And then Twinglish. Yes, very good. Business English SIG. Exactly. So if you have anything specific to business English, then you would use the hashtag BSIC. Twinglish. Twinglish was invented by students, and it's English language lessons for students. So if you're hosting an English language lesson, you write English language teaching materials, then that's a hashtag that you would use, or something specific to teaching students, because a lot of students will follow that specific hashtag. So on Twitter, another great reason to be on Twitter for English language teachers is the amazing amount of authors that are on Twitter. Now, if you know more than this, please add some more. I don't have every single person. There are so many, but there are some that you may be able to recognize here, and we're going to play a little game. So does anybody know who would be the author of Dog Me? So there's two authors of Dog Me out there. who their Twitter handles might be. And I forgot one here that I didn't even, oh, very good, Scott Thornberry. And who would be the other one? Thornberry Scott, yeah. And who would be the other one? Luke Meddings, very good. And who would be the one for, I think it's the ABCs of Teaching, a very famous ELT Young Learners author. Anyone know who that would be? That would be Carol Reed. Carol Reed. So she's really good for young learners. Barb Saka is really good for young learners as well. We have Chuck Sandy, who's very big in Japan. One of the big publishers out there, who's in many, many, many English language teaching workbooks, course books. Who would that be? Anybody know? That would be Simon Greenough. How about the, uh, okay, so many of you may have taken in your CELTA I'm not going to say this, the language of teaching practice. I'm not getting this right at all. So if you took your CELTA, you may have read books by two of the famous authors up here, which is Jim Scrivener and Harmer J, which is Jeremy Harmer and Jim Scrivener. And then the other one I'm going to ask you is the author of Global. Anybody know the author of Global? Yes, that would be Lindsay Clanfield or L. Clanfield. And then there's Ken Wilson London, Ken Wilson does a lot of the drama and things like that. Vicki Hollett is a very famous business English author. So these are many, many of the English authors out there. There's so much more. Now you can also find people who do English teaching materials. And these are some of the people. Is anyone familiar with the Breaking News English website? And listen a minute. Well, then you might recognize one of the names here, which is, can anyone guess? We have Sean Banfield. And so he does a lot of the, yes, exactly, the materials. Yes, ESOL courses, Sue Lyon Jones. Now this is specifically English language lessons that you would find. So when you follow these, then you will find materials. Our L.I. Bernie, she does a lot of the things. She has a mystery, and then she has her own website as well. Sue Lyon Jones is smiling there. ESL Library will have a lot of different lessons as well. Ann Foreman, Ann_F, is actually the tweeter for, she does the tweets for the British Council Teaching English site. And so she's always full of great information. You can find things at Lesson Stream, which is Jamie Ketty's website. You find YouTube lessons. ELT Digital Play will have a lot of lessons that have to deal with game-based education. Well, there will be a recording afterwards, so then you can find that. And then there's a lot more as well. And actually, one of the ones I didn't put on there that I should have put there is Choose Site. Oh, I can't believe. So, okay, so Chu, can you please share with us? And this is A Cleal to Climb. And he has a lot of, I'm not going to put this right, to climb, I think. And then he has a lot for English language students. So he's a really good website to have as well. So one of the things you may wonder is, how do you develop professionally on Twitter? Well, there are different things that you can do, but I summarize it by saying to educate, engage, and report. And what does this mean? Well, first of all, Twitter is microblogging. Microblogging means that you can only do 140 characters, so you have to be very careful, very specific, and very to the point of what you're putting out there. So one of the things to engage, one of the things I recommend is that add those you already know. So when you're speaking, for example, when you join the ELT chat, you're going to meet people that you know. And when you meet people that you know, let me see if I can make this a little bit better, because you said let's see if we can make this a little bit better, because a lot of you are saying that you can't get this. So let's see if we can make this a little bit better. Okay, so hopefully you can hear a little bit better there. So add those you know, and then follow their list and recommendations. Marissa_C, which is at ELT Chat, she has a fantastic follow list, and you'll find that in the resources after this. Join conversations. Don't be afraid to use the @ sign. You know, that's the best way you're going to be able to connect with people, is that if you actually speak with them. Another thing you want to do is you want to join their projects, or you want to help them out. If people ask for questions and you have an answer, or even if you have a blog post that answers it, then share the link. That's how, the more helpful you are, the more known and the more people are going to follow you. There's what's called a 20%, 80% rule that was established a long time ago by marketers. And what that means is basically 20% of the links that you share can be to promote you, especially if it's something that people will pay for. A lot of people on Twitter, they do sell things, and that's okay. But 20% of the time, this is what you want to do. 80% of the time, you want to engage. You want to help people out. You want to retweet them. You want to have conversations with them. Educate. Well, you're a subject matter expert in your field. Some of you develop materials for free. You want to get the word out. Some of you have companies. Some of you teach online. Some of you are authors. So if you want to use, it got worse. Oh no. If you want to use this, then what you want to do is you want to use specific hashtags to make sure you're going, like the hashtags I shared before. Make sure that your source is reaching the right audience. So that way, for example, if it's for students, then you want to use Twinglish. If you're doing a blog post you just want to share and it's about a topic that's voted on for ELT Chat, then go ahead and use the ELT Chat resource. So answer questions and tweet resources. When you use hashtags well, then it's really great, because then you really begin to get well known in that. And that's some of the things that I do for my company, in the companies that I tweet for, is I make sure that I use my hashtags smartly so it gets to the right audience. And a lot of people will be very thankful for that. Another thing you may want to do is you can act as a reporter, and this is a lot of fun. So when you go to those conferences, make sure you use the hashtag and tweet. A lot of times you'll find where people tweet up. You'll get to know the people out there that are at the conference. You can come and you can meet them. Okay, so let me change that back, because maybe okay, let's see if we can change the bandwidth back. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better. So tweet at conferences, make sure you use the hashtag, and don't be afraid to go ahead and start following the people at the conference and ask them, hey, can I meet up with you guys? A lot of people use Foursquare. A lot of people can go ahead and they can do things like they'll tweet different things at the conference, like keynotes and things like that. Now, when you're using a conference hashtag, I think that you need to, we need to be a little bit more careful. I know that there's certain types of presenters who do not want you to tweet their conferences. Scott Thornberry is one of them. He does not like you to tweet for his keynote. And I like to respect different types of keynotes. I like to respect them and their wishes. So a lot of times a presenter at a conference or even a keynote will tell you, you can tweet this. Lindsay Cranfield is really great. Sometimes for his keynotes, he'll actually put tweets already in for you. So some people really enjoy this and other people don't. When you do tweet at conferences, another thing to remember is to be nice. A lot of the presenters are up there and they're going to read the tweets afterwards. So anything you say, this is an author. I mean, I think it's better if you have a problem with the actual type of presentation, email the author, visit their blog, or send them a private tweet, or talk to them in person. But I think it's a little disrespectful when we say really mean things about presenters, and some presenters have had this, so I think it's something we can be careful of. And one of the most important things is, how do I find the time? Well, all of us want to know how you find the time, and there are some ways you can do that. The best way is do a free browser such as Hootsuite. Here I have TweetDeck. TweetDeck's my favorite. I do everything with TweetDeck except use it on my smartphone. But some people use it on their smartphone as well. TweetDeck is great. You can tweet Facebook. You can tweet. You can do Facebook updates. You can do several accounts. I have about six from 6 accounts that I manage. So for me, I really needed to have a place where I could just do different columns. I have about 15 columns. So I run a lot of chats. It's a great way for me to use a chat. You can schedule updates. So a lot of times people will say, Shelly, you're on at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I say, no, I'm not on at 3 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I can schedule my tweet ahead of time. So these are really great things. When I'm going to run late to a Twitter chat, sometimes I'll go ahead and tweet some links and stuff ahead of time. So TweetDeck has really saved me with my time. You can easily follow people. You can see who's following you. There's so much you can do. You can even do status updates on LinkedIn and Facebook. So it's a great way to manage your time. Another way is connect with your mobile device. When I am hanging out in line, I'm waiting in line, I don't watch TV. I don't invest in a lot of like expensive clothes and things like that. One of the things that I invest in is I actually like to invest in my smartphone. And the reason why is because when I'm standing in line, I can take the time and I can tweet different types of links and things like that. So I really recommend using your smartphone. There's so many times when you're riding with another passenger in public transportation that you will actually see different things. So this is what I recommend. A lot of times I'll do my Twitter chat and you'll see something like I'm getting my pedicure, which happened, I think, last Elt Chat. So using your smartphone can be really great. I recommend TweetDeck or Echophon. There's Facebook apps. And a lot of the apps that they have here, they integrate with Twitter. RSS/G, a lot of the links that I find from blogs. And another thing that I recommend is Twitter feed. I'll go ahead and show you Twitter feed, but these are the links. This is where you can find me. And then you can find you can even find Marissa, who just walked in, her list on the bit.ly ELT links. So some people ask me, Shelly, why are you up all the time? I'm not up all the time. So what I want to show you is what's called Twitter feed, okay? And Twitter feed is fantastic. It's a free service. All of these are free services. And let's say that you tweet a lot. Well, once you're online and you tweet for a company, yes, you want to have a presence. Yeah, you can hear Roscoe in the back. Unfortunately, I have Greta here. Sorry, Greta. But that's because that's our blog for EDU. And we use Twitter feed for blog for EDU. I use it for my company accounts. So, okay, so I'm going to come in. This is Twitter feed. I'll log in. And then you just create a new feed. You can see here I have Sue Lyon Jones on my Twitter feed. Switch to playlist. I entered all these blogs. So what I do is I find blogs that I really like the information from. Many of you are here that have the blogs on here. And then it tweets it automatically for me. Anything with an RSS feed. This is an RSS feed right here. Oh, sorry. This little thing right here, this little icon where you can see my arrow. Then you can go ahead. You create a new feed. Okay, so we'll go here. You can type the feed name. you can do your own blog. So I might do the Teacher Reboot Camp blog. So we can go to Teacher Reboot Camp. Let's see. And Twitter feed has really just saved me. There's a lot of things. There are people that I regularly read. I regularly read Marissa's blog, Greta's blog, things like that. So when I read these, then it's really good that I'm able to be able to tweet them automatically. So, okay, so I just go to, you find the RSS, and then you just copy and paste that, whatever, after you click on that sign, and then you can just put it right here. Test the RSS feed, your feed sparks. Go to advanced settings. You can do the title and description. I just do the title. I think the title, you only have 140 characters. You can choose where you shorten the link from. I always use bit.ly. I do it every 30 minutes. You can do it every hour, or it just kind of searches for it there. And then I will do via whoever. See, already I have. So this one is my actual blog, so I could do via @ShellTerrell. I could put somebody's blog name. And then at the end, I put the hashtag that I think that it would work best with. It could be Elt Chat. It could be ESL. It could be Twinglish if it's lessons. And then automatically, every time, then you continue to the next step. And then you can go to Twitter. You can put it on Facebook. You can put it on LinkedIn. On Twitter, I already made sure that my account was there. And then I would just click, see, I have ShellTerrell, Twig class, blog for EDU, authenticated, and then I'm done. I create the service and I have the feed. And every time, it'll go ahead and automatically do this feed. I don't have to be up. I don't have to tweet this, but I'm still sharing resources with people. And this works really, really well, especially if you have, like, for example, company account, or even to save you time for tweeting your own blog links. That saves me so much time. So hopefully this really helped you out today. And I'm going to allow you to ask questions now. So I'll stop sharing that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a previous presentation just so you can see the bottom, the very, very last one. So does anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? I'm going to enable the audio for all of you. So if you have a question, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and come up here. And just click the little microphone. Can everybody hear me okay now? Is that much better? Oh, okay, that's great to know. Oh, okay. So Sue Lyon Jones uses something else. She uses su.pr. Another cool thing that I really like, and I found this out from from other people, is they have Scoop It. And Scoop It, a lot of people will automatically tweet their Scoop It. Scoop It is really great. I think it's scoop.it. And so Scoop It is really a way to grab a lot of different posts. Let's see. And then shoot, what was your question? Okay, so Beth says, do you have an account or did you skip the part? I use the account. The reason I use the account is because I travel a lot. And when I travel a lot, oh, okay, that's one thing to do. I travel a lot, so I really enjoy having the TweetDeck account, because then it automatically, even when I went to my Android, I switched from my iPhone to my Android, I uploaded the TweetDeck and all my columns came up. So I thought that was really great. You have to be careful, though, like Dan says, is that you can automatically tweet by accident, so be very, very careful. And yes, you have to be careful. I mean, there have been times when, and you have to be careful, especially on a phone, a smartphone. because sometimes it'll autocorrect. It doesn't autocorrect good things, so it's really good to look out for that. The other thing that somebody was asking, how can you join the live conversation on EduMOOC? Well, a lot of times you can, well, actually that's a good question, but that's Facebook.com. You can go to the search for the group, search group EduMOOC, EDUMOOC, and then you can join that, and they'll tell you there when they hang out. They actually use Google Plus, and they hang out, and they tell you the times when you're in the Facebook group. So you have to join the Facebook group. Any other questions? There's a whole bunch of people to follow in ELT. I would say there's 200, 300 teachers. So I recommend going to the bit.ly, the ELT links, and you will find when you click on professional development, Marissa's list of English teachers. You will find bloggers. When you go to the weconnect.pbworks.elt, you will find all sorts of English authors, and you'll see their blog posts. You'll see Beth Cagnall there. You'll see Greta. You'll see CC, ELT. You'll see different people to follow there. You'll see Cyber Manual. So pretty much all of you will see there. A Cleo to Climb. Although I don't know if I have your newest ones. And then of course you can find a lot of the people here today at the reformsymposium.com. So thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you'll be with us next week, and you'll also be with us to see the Reform Symposium free e-conference. Thank you so much. Have a great, great, great weekend.